Today, I want to talk to you about moving with audacity. I don't think that we realize how much good girl programming we actually have collectively. I think many of us that grew up in different cultures, we think, oh, it's just because of my culture. But honestly, if you just look at the collective history of women, there is a lot of that subconscious DNA level good girl programming. And one of the massive ways that I see this come up for women is they want to make moves, they want to make decisions at the level of tolerance of those around them, right? I see this in coaching people that it's like, oh, like my husband can't handle more than this, or my kids can't handle this. And one of the things that I've learned as the first deca millionaire on both sides of my family, as someone that has to break like many generational curses and just overcome so many lineage patterns, is that when I expand, when I move with audacity, everyone else around me, their tolerance, their capacity actually expands. So if I keep myself small, if I say I'm just gonna color within the lines, I'm just gonna move within the paradigms that are already created, then I'm actually not helping my husband or my kids or my family or friends or my clients. And this can be really hard to understand, but once you get it, oh my God, everything changes because you realize what a great service you really are doing for others. Like everything that I have in my life right now that I have manifested, multi-millions of dollars, my mansion, my marriage, my children, my calling. At one point, if I go back in time, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there's no way that I would have thought that my family members could handle this or those around me wouldn't be triggered by this. But now it has expanded the realm of possibilities of even what they allow themselves to think. So this is huge. You're doing a service to humanity by living in audacity. So let me now share with you the exact process of how I put this in actual practical practice every day. Every time there's a desire in my heart and I want to make a decision, I want to make a move, I first pause to check in with myself that is this a linear move? Is this a lateral move? Is this a move that I'm convincing myself it's my next level, but actually it's just me playing small? And I do this through journaling, through self-reflection, through meditation. Like I really just pause first. And most of the time, yeah, it's like programming. It's like, oh, this isn't that big, right? So the question I ask myself, if I already manifested this, how fast would I outgrow it? And if the answer is, I've already outgrown this while I'm having this conversation, then that's not it, right? So I go for the thing that maybe I'm telling myself, I'll have this in 3 years. I'll have this in 5 years. Because remember, time is not minutes, hours, weeks, months, and years. It's distance traveled. I can change my vehicle and go there now. If I'm walking somewhere, it might take me 3 weeks to get there, right? If I'm in a car, it might take me 3 days. If I'm in a rocket ship, it might take me 3 minutes. So Audacity is a vehicle. It's a faster moving vehicle. So I reach for the thing that I'm convincing myself will happen in 3 or 5 years. And I'm like, okay, what if I did that now? What if I made the move that made that happen now? And then I ask myself a second question. And that is, that version of me that already has done that move, what does she want? What would be her desire? And this might take me a little bit to journal through because sometimes it's hard to even think that big, right? But I'm like, look, every single time you've manifested something, no matter how big it was, you are literally creating reality and worlds here. So there's always next desires. So if you had to come up with what would be that version of me's desire, what would that be? Once I have that, and by the way, I teach you this in my Millionaire Play Shop because I do this on I keep going. Once I have that big, scary, bold, audacity move, then and only then do I move. Because why am I going to baby step myself there when I could just move with audacity right now? When I could just go for that thing, which is mine anyways. That's my ultimate desire. It is already mine. I just have to give myself permission to have it now. And this exercise has changed my life. And of course, when I'm making those moves, I have to deal with all the things that I'm sure you deal with, right? Maybe your team is freaking out. Maybe your partner is freaking out. Maybe your kids are like, what are we doing? But I promise you that as you start becoming that version of yourself, reality will adjust itself. I have tens of thousands of experiences in my own life and in my client's life where they were like, no way, there's no way my partner will agree to this. There's no way that my family will be okay with this. And then on the other end, their family is inspired by it. Was it wobbly in the middle? Of course. You're making quantum leaps. Of course, reality is going to readjust. But you need to hold the faith. That is your job. Your job is to make those audacity moves and then hold the faith. Because remember, audacity does not come with a guarantee. You are the guarantee. You have already decided that you are going to be the lineage breaker in your family. You have already decided that you are worth multi-millions. You've already decided that you have a calling on your heart. Well, then decide that you get to make those audacity moves. Audacity moves are not boring, okay? They're not yesterday's moves. They're not lateral moves. They're not moves that you're gonna make and outgrow. They're big, bold decisions that you make. And here's the thing. Once you start living your life this way, you start stacking evidence in your favor. Because every time I'm like, oh my God, this seems so big. This seems so out of reach. I go back to every single thing that I have right now that I've already manifested. At some point seemed too big. At some point it seemed out of reach. At some point it felt like too stretchy, too wobbly. Like, oh, it just felt like, is this too much? Have I now lost it, right? I always ask myself this. I make really audacious moves and I'm always like, okay, Mina, now you've officially lost it. But here's the thing. I don't want to live a life where I'm not saying that to myself at least every week, that you've officially lost it now. That's the kind of life that I came here to live. I didn't come here to make little baby moves and lateral moves. I feel like most people live the same year 80 times and call it a life. That's not me. For me, every year is like 10 lifetimes. Every day, it's like a decade of growth. That's the life I decided that I get to have. That's what playing on the edge means to me. That's what makes me feel alive. And that's what audacity is. It's you coming alive. It's you being fully you. It's you holding that vibration for everyone else around you, not playing small to what they can tolerate, raising their tolerance level, raising their capacity, raising what even they get to dream and what they get to have. And if you want to learn more on my exact journaling process of really uncovering my deepest desires, those quantum audacity moves, watch this video next.